What you're about to see now is a politician perform some truths and some lies, and then basically show his utter contempt towards the people that he serves. He's about to say that we can't send them back. Well, legally, if we can prove that they're from a war-torn country and they directly came here, okay, never stopping at any country in between or claiming asylum in any other country, that we can't send them back. That is entirely true. But as most of them have tipped their passports over the side into the English Channel, probably given them back to the NGO that sent them here, and they've been all the way through Europe, what he's about now to say is utter rubbish.
The people saying, and I quote, the people saying send them back, legally we can't. And you might that is simply a fact. I will get to questions, but let me finish the introduction. Lots of you have also asked, why is it an entirely male population?
What you're going to see is this bloke now make up some utter ridiculous nonsense about the fact that it's too dangerous for women and children to make the crossing. Well, surely it's too dangerous to stay in a war zone if that's truly the narrative that you're going to believe. No, the truth is, how many armies go to war and take their wife and kids with them? They don't. And also, how many of these men are honourable? They're not. So simply what they've done is they've dumped the baggage, left it over there to fend for itself, and then thought they'll make a new life over here. Or they may well be an army on tour. You can make the decision, not me. However, any bloke from Great Britain, if he was trying to escape war, wouldn't leave the wife and kids there. Just saying. Well, that is any traditional man from Britain. One of these new people that have just come here probably would, actually. But watch what he says. Watch the gymnastics and the rubbish that he's trying to actually sell to these people who aren't exactly stupid, who are now living in the midst of these people, in and around them, and the trouble that's coming. Watch him try and convince them on the rubbish that he's trying to peddle.
Now, the short answer is that it is very, very largely men that make the journey in small boats across the channel. And that is because, for whatever reason, it is men who are more able to make that journey. One of the problems that we have with the nature of people still coming in the kind of numbers that they have is that I can't stand here and promise you that, for instance, those short-term bookings might not become more long-term.
Well, you need to! You need to!
So when was Lithuania a war-torn country, incidentally? Many of the people coming over at the moment on those boats are from Lithuania. Many of the people coming over on those boats are second-time visitors. They got binned out the first time, they're coming back again. But how many of these countries are war-torn now? Hasn't the war finished in many of these countries? And incidentally, the very fact that they made it onto Europe and started wandering around in, say, Italy, Spain and France means that they're no longer our problem. They're landed on safe soil. Sorry, tough. The whole idea that we've got to take these people in, right, is a myth, because basically, as a pact, we said that we would give these people asylum if they came to our shore. But they didn't come to our shore. They came to everybody else's shore, all right? Because I don't know if you've noticed, but these boats they come over on have a limited amount of fuel. In fairness, most of those boats do not have the fuel that it takes to make it from France to Great Britain. So the very fact that you think they're going to come all the way around, circumnavigate Spain, Italy and France, and then rock up on our shore is a dream. So they must have been on some safe shore before. So utter rubbish. Another interesting fact is the people who are in charge of the housing of these people at the moment, the people that are making huge sums of money, are also supplying the boats to them back in France. Might be worth a look up. But anyway, let's see how he wiggles himself out of this one.
They are from Iran, Iraq, Afghanistan, Eritrea, Ethiopia. They are from some of the most war-torn and troubled.
You could see his face there. He was uncomfortable, but he could realise that none of these people were buying the rubbish that he was peddling. and good, because the average human being is not quite as dense as these people seem to think they are. Even if you speak with a common accent and you live on the middle of a council estate, doesn't necessarily mean you're an absolute fool who believes rubbish. In fact, you're more likely to be clued up because you've lived through some hard times. Moreover, if your neighbour to, say for instance, a hotel with these people, you'll understand just exactly what's happening. Or maybe you live in a town or a country, when I say a country, a part of our country that's seen the effects of what's going on and you don't like it. No, this guy is literally treating you lot for a bunch of idiots. Fortunately, this crowd let him know. But if you actually think that the Labour government or the Conservative government, because the Conservative government are just doing what their paymasters tell them. Now, this might sound conspiratorial, but today's conspiracy in 6 months' time seems to be the reality, so bear with. When you listen to Labour, they want an open border system. They really do. When you listen to Liberal Democrat, they'll say what the other two say, and we'll say something. Politics is failing us. Politics has failed us. We are in serious trouble. We are going to have to make up a political party or something like that of our own, and it has to be from people from a poor background who understand the difference between, say for instance, being able to get by and also being a second-class citizen in their own country. Anyway, I'm off to do a video about how you're all going to lose your houses through a new initiative through the European Union that obviously we'll take on. Stand by for that. I'll see you in a bit.